Well, hello and good evening, morning, or whatever to everyone. And it is exciting time that we're going through now. You'll hear everyone left, right, and centre say, "Oh, during our unique opportunity." Well, the fact is, there probably isn't really a unique opportunity anymore out there. Let's face it. There's that many things going on. It's just absolutely unreal. Anyway, my name is carljames, and I am from Resolve Coaching. I nearly forgotten where I was coming from. And Resolve Coaching deals with the coaching of things like hypnotherapy. It deals with all NLP. It deals with divorce and breakup coaching as well, and life coaching. And probably more NLP somewhere along the lines. If you don't know what NLP is, it's neuro-linguistic programming. What's all that about? I hear you say, well, if you're asking me now, you haven't been on TikTok or Facebook, because it seems to be getting hammered left, right and centre. Why it's getting hammered is because it's quite popular, and it's popular because it works. Okay, 1974, a couple of guys got together and they realised that these coaches are doing really, really, really well, and they wanted to know why. So they picked a good couple of them and they watched them. They asked them what their techniques were, and they realised if they could steal a few of their techniques in respect, I mean, I should imagine they knew that their techniques were getting stolen, and they were then made into something called NLP. So it's basically like they pick the best ingredients out of everything. Why is this working so well? Why are you people who are coaching other people doing so well at it? So we're going to use some of your ideas, work out where it comes from, and we are going to create this NLP. So 1974, they Richard, I've forgotten his name, Dadler, something. Anyway, not important, but it is important. Look up NLP, you will find the guy, and it's actually brilliant. He's got loads of written material out there. And most people who are involved in NLP and any sort of coaching similar to that, they will know who he is and read some of his material, or his material has 100% been used in any teachings. So if someone's taught you NLP or some sort of life coaching, there's a good chance that Richard Bandler's techniques have been brought into the teaching, because those techniques they're just used. You know, it's like you can't use any other thing and put it under the banner of NLP or any of the similar teaching. So most coaching will be using NLP as some form. So like I say, I have a few skills behind me. I never used to do anything to do with NLP or coaching in any which way at all. By trade, I'm an electrician. I've given all that up, and I changed my roadmap and I've gone a different route. And it's very, very exciting, because it's incredible understanding the mind, the conscious, the subconscious, and how everything works and how you work. And you'll hear terms like reframing. So reframing, instead of getting up in the morning and you end up tripping over your boot you left there last night, you bend your toe back, it's killing you, you're in a bad mood, and that carries on through the rest of the day. Everyone is getting it in the back of the neck because you hit your toe on your boot you left there the night before. So that's a physical disaster that started. But let's now go back, and we're going to reframe the physical side. Besides, we reframe our minds and our brains. So what you would do is, when you enter bed, put your boots away, right? You've now just reframed that day is going to be a good day now, because you're not going to hit your toe on your boots. So let's put that into a psychological matter, is that if you're having bad days through your head, like hitting your mic. So if you have bad days and you've got something in the back of your mind that you keep doing all the time, this is your pattern, and your pattern of behavior isn't really bringing about much fruition. It's not bringing out about 5 o'clock in the evening you're going, oh great, what a great day. If you're not doing that, then something is going wrong throughout the morning you wake up, throughout the weeks that you've been going through the months that you've been living, right? Nothing is being framed in the right way that it needs to be. So you just need to look at what you're doing Look at your attitude. Why is your attitude like that? How am I talking to people? What's my communication skills been like? Am I giving people bad vibes by the way I'm talking to them and I answer them questions, or by demands? So I'm not asking people to do things, I'm telling them to do things. So when you look at the way your life is and you realize that, you haven't really looked at it through anyone else's eyes, right, except your own. And even then you haven't decided to take a step back, looking through your eyes and looking at yourself and your attitude and the way that you work every single day, every week and every month, and wonder why it doesn't really feel that good. Why am I getting negative attitudes and vibes from everyone else around me? It's not just potluck. It's not that, it just must be one of them days. One of them days is one of them days that's created, right? Created by you or other people around you. And it is exactly the same when it just comes to the days, are just rolling into each other and they're not following. So, like I say, when it comes to someone saying it's just one of them days, accidents don't happen, they're caused. You look at any accident, whether it be yourself or somebody else, right? It didn't just happen out of fresh air. It was caused, right? Somebody done something wrong for that to happen, whether it's someone else's fault or whether it's your own fault. And that brings us down to everything you do, it's your responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions. Take responsibility for the day. Okay, you're the one that can make it go good or bad. And even if there's something out of your control comes your way and it's negative, then look for a way of flipping it and making it a better day. Okay, so, and it is possible. We seem to have it in our heads that it's impossible. So a great saying that I've heard, and I think it's fantastic, is there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. And you think, well, yeah, there is such thing as failure. No, there isn't. It's just that you've done something one way that didn't quite work. It's not necessarily failure. So the feedback you get is from either yourself saying, what could I have done different? Or somebody else saying, that thing that you did, Carl, it didn't quite work out, right? And here's the reason why. So now you're going to get the feedback. The reason why it didn't work is because you actually did that before you did that, and it should have been the other way around. And that is why your cake came out the oven and it was flat. So you haven't, it's not failure, right? Because you're getting feedback. Failure is when you decide to do nothing about something that didn't work out. You're failing yourself. So if you think about it, everything that goes on in life is about the way that you attack it, about the way you handle it. And if you just go haphazard through life, then that's how it's going to act. If you structure your life, right, give it some meaning, look at yourself in the future, what is it you want to be, and then work your way backwards. Because if you think about it, if you start now and you say, right, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow, this is what I'm doing next week, that's a great little bit of diary planning, but where are you heading? Which direction you're going in? So let's look at what you want to achieve, even if it's small, and you want to achieve it in a month or two, or it's bigger and it needs to be achieved in a year, or then we look at a 5-year plan. Okay, where do you want to be? Businesses do it all the time. It's called a business plan, weirdly enough. And they do that because they need to visually see where they want to be. Where are you going? I mean, they will also need something like that if they want to get some finance in to increase the size of the business, volume of goods, or anything like that. So they will need to be able to structure a written down plan that will make sense. You can't write down, I want to be a millionaire by the end of next February, and not do anything about it, because it ain't going to come to you unless you're doing the lottery and you're really lucky. Besides, that ain't going to work. So you need to have an idea, plan it out, but look to where you want to be. What is it you're going to achieve? So if you want to achieve being, I want to be able to earn $2,000 a year, that'll do me. So you go, okay, well that's perfectly acceptable. You haven't gone for the million or the billionaire. So, and it's achievable. There's nothing not achievable. It's achievable if you use the right tools, techniques, etc., which I'm not going to teach. I'm not here for that. I'm just explaining to you the things that you need to do with your life to achieve the things that you want through your life. And you're not going to get them unless you start changing yourself, your attitude to yourself. Wake up. If you want to do affirmations, fantastic. I'm going to be great today. I look beautiful. That does require a mirror. So these things you want to tune into your head, right? All the negative stuff needs to go, and you need to get the positive back into your head again. Okay, I am going to achieve this today, right? A nice small thing. I'm going to achieve a small thing today. And it could start with being, I am going to achieve making someone happy today. Dead easy to do. It's not hard being nice to someone, even if it's the old lady crossing the road. You know, the old guy who's just about to hit you with the stick because you walked into his hedge, right? Don't retaliate. Put your hands up and say, do you know what? I'm really sorry about that. Take the wind out the sails. It's my fault, and I understand why you're angry at me. Right? And just be straightforward. You take the wind out of someone's sails and take responsibility for your own actions, then what are they fighting against? If you go, hey, it wasn't me, that stupid head should have been cut 4 years ago, then that's just going to raise the bar, and it's going to continue. And at some point, you're going to get hit by a walking stick. So diffuse it. Okay, and you need to do the same thing through life. So with the guy at the walking stick, you diffuse it, take the wind out the sails by immediately going, hands up, it was my fault, I'm really sorry about that. I should have been looking where I was going. That's a beautiful bush. You might want to skip that last bit out, actually. But yeah. And then they'll look at you and go, because you haven't retaliated, you haven't given them any petrol to throw back at you. So at this point, right, that's when you're now changing his life, and you're making him a little bit happy because you've understood something. You've understood his anger. You may even take it one step further and say, look, what are you trying to do? You're trying to cut that hedge. I know someone can do it. I can do it myself. How about I pop around later and I'll start trimming your hedge down a little bit, and we'll come to some arrangements. You don't hit me. I cut your hedge. You know, it's a win-win situation. So you take that attitude into everything else that you do, then you're going to be winning the day. When I say win the day, I'm talking about to yourself, to your emotions, to your attitude. You win in the day. To how your life will move forward, you win in the day. You're not winning the day because you got given a tenner, or he says, I'll take you to the pub for a pint. That is more like winning the moment, right? It's gone. But winning the day, you can carry that to the next day and the next day and the next day and keep on going. And as this goes on, it builds to bigger things. Because once you realize that you can do these things and you can do it well, and you become a master of your own attitude and a master of your own emotions, and you're using them right, then things start working right, right? If money brings money, then attitude will bring attitude, right? Good attitude. You know, if you go around with a bad attitude, that's all you get from everyone else, right? Because people feel it. Right, they can feel it like a brick hitting them, right? When people say, I could cut the atmosphere with a knife. So it's because the heaviness of bad attitude. Whereas if you walk into a room and you're bouncing around happy, you bring that energy in. People might think you're an idiot, but half of them will start laughing, right? And even if the rest don't, you've just brought the atmosphere up, you brought the level up, you brought the energy up. And it was as simple as walking in, acting like an idiot for about 5 seconds. But the thing is, you might want to carry on doing that. People might say, you're acting an idiot, you're acting a goat. You might just be saying, I'm enjoying life. I just show it differently. I do it differently. People have their own ways to enjoy life. But the main thing is, and the underlying word is enjoy. You must enjoy it. If you don't enjoy anything you're doing, then you're wasting your time. You're going to have a really sad life. It's going to be heavy. It's going to last long, and it will not be prosperous, right? It's just going to be like living in dead space. Okay, so get yourself up there, change your mindset. You've heard that before. And it's quite easy to do. What we're going to do is we're going to say, and if you want to use, you know, the little messages on your wall, or a picture of someone really happy, or a picture with someone with an expensive car, it depends on where you want to go with your mindset. Am I going to change my mindset because I want to earn more money, because I want better stuff in the house, better products? I want to increase the value of my car because it's a bit crap, so I'd like something that really, you know, nice. Don't start hitting the Ferraris yet. All right, but just go up market. So a couple of levels up from what you've got, and then when you get that in a 6 months to a year's time, think about, well, I might level up on that as well. So it's a matter of starting off, because once you've started off and you believe that you can do it, then you will fly and you'll carry on doing the same kind of mindset you've got and just repeat it. You cannot go wrong. If you change your mindset and it's not working, then you're doing it wrong. Okay. So you're not going to repeat that. Only a fool will repeat something that you're getting the same negativity or the same results that are not the results you want. Whether it be Einstein or someone came up with that, is the definition of an idiot is someone that repeats the same thing over and over and over and expects a different result. So if you're repeating the same thing, you're getting the same result, and it's a result that you don't want, then change it. Okay, sit down, look at it, analyze it, dissect it, whatever you need to do, and find out which bit is the bit that's not working. Once you've done that, crack it, carry on, start small. If you go for the big one, it's going to be difficult to obtain. And if you don't obtain it, and if you've given it a time scale, you're going to think all this mindset is a waste of time. But it's like everything. So what happens to apprentices when they start their 3-year apprenticeship, right? Little 17-year-old guy or girl goes into the job the first day, and they're going to be, let's say, bricklayers. So they go in. Do you think the first day they turn up, they're going to build a wall? No. They'll be shown the how to mix sand and cement. What part to what part of each goes, so the ratio of parts. They're going to be given written information on health and safety. They're going to be given booklets on all different bricks available. They probably even haven't touched a brick for a month. Okay, and why is that? Because they're not ready yet. And you're the same. You're not ready to be a 3-year apprentice on day one. So you've got to follow the steps. Follow the steps. Work small. Understand the formula of the mindset and follow it. Once it works, again, let's get back to the apprentice brickies. They've read the material. They get asked, what brick's that? They don't know. So they go back a bit and change things. Why don't I know? Oh, I forgot to read that passage. Or my brain wasn't switching on at the time. So the subconscious didn't take in the information. It decided to think about going shopping for the new game, the new PlayStation, the new Xbox, or whatever, floats their boat at the time. So you can imagine doing this through life. And it doesn't matter what age you are, right? It works. If it doesn't work, you're doing something wrong. An old saying from a motorbike mechanic that was a brilliant guy. And I was having a problem getting a tyre off a motorbike wheel, right? Not good fun. And I was fighting. And he said, you find it that difficult? I said, yeah. He said, well, if you find any job difficult, you're doing it wrong. And I thought, well, no, this particular job is difficult. He said, no, it's not. You're just doing it wrong. There's a technique to everything. And I'm thinking, well, okay, there's a technique to everything, but I thought that was just technical. Well, everything you do is practically technical. Okay, especially changing a tyre, it's a technique. A technician who changes bike wheels and changes bike engines is a technician. So bringing that back, had I have done it the correct way, which I didn't know there was a correct way, I'd have took it off with ease. He showed me the technique. I flew it off. I was tempted to look round for other tyres that needed changing just to prove how great I am at now changing a tyre. It was a great result, not in changing the tyre, but learning the fact that if you're finding it hard, you're doing it wrong. And that statement, a little motto, floats around my head every time I walk into something, bang my head on the wall and say, why is this not working? And then I say, it's not working because I'm doing it wrong. And that works with everything. And it works with, whether it be academic or whether it be practical or in business or on your own. If something's going wrong, it's because you're attacking it wrong. So you need to take a step back. If you're still getting there and you're going, I'm not getting there, I don't know what's going on, then get another set of eyes on it. Preferably someone who is willing to give you good feedback. Not one of your silly little mates or something who might go, yeah, why didn't you hit it with a stick? Okay, that may not work if you decide to make glass cups or something like that. But, you know, you want someone with a fresh of eyes who's got a little bit of nous, a little bit of intelligence, a little bit of cleverness, or a bit of artistic influence in their own life that they can bring to the table and say, I know why that's not working, because that needs to change over there. That colour is the wrong colour for that. If you add that colour, let's have a look at what the effects are. That works, that attracts people, that colour, brilliant colour, let's carry on now. Get someone in, right? If you're finding it hard and you still can't get the results you're after, get help, right? Even if you've got to pay for that help, it'll be worth paying a couple of quid to someone to ask them for their opinion than it is for you to spend days banging your head against the wall and not going any further with the problem. If you know where the problem is and you can't change it, get someone else to look at it. Okay? Your time is also valuable, and the amount of money you might pay someone to have a look at it, you've probably spent double that in your own time wasted trying to resolve something. So there's a few hints for you to work about. So my intention is to throw a few of these out there as I create some good content about NLP, about hypnosis, about divorce and breakup coaching. So I'm not going to be trying to teach you anything, but I will be giving you snippets of help on how to deal with the situation, not necessarily advice, because coaches tend not to give advice. What the coach does is try to get you to look at something differently to get the better outcome. So we're not there to say, whatever you do, don't ring Joanne because she's just going to bring you down. So what we might say is, maybe ringing people is not the best way to go. Do you think there's another way you could get the communication that you're trying to get out there without talking to everybody? So I'm skipping the fact I'm not mentioning Joanne. I'm skipping the fact that I'm not individualizing a person, but I'm giving an option. So you try to give out options, not advice. Because at the end of the day, I could say to you, stop ringing that person. And you go, oh, right. So that is advice. And you stop ringing that person and suddenly you start feeling lonely because what you didn't say is that's the only person you ever speak to. So now I've created you being lonely, right? I may be creating you to be depressed. I might create you in your mind thinking about suicide. So that's none of the things that I am trying to do. I'm trying to do completely the opposite. And every coach does the same. They try to bring the good ideas and options on the table for you to look at, to discover, and to follow. But you pick the option. And the thing about picking an option is your brain already knows which option to go for. It just hasn't quite dissected it enough and analysed it to decide why it is. But you just know it is. Like people say, if you had that gut feeling, get that feeling about something, you know, I'm not going to buy that. There's something about that I don't like. And then you find out that 4 people bought it and, you know, they all died or something, food poisoning, or, you know, or whatever. And then you decide, you know, I definitely want to get that. There's a reason I'm going to get that. But, you know, lucky enough, you've got the money on you, you buy it, and then you cut into it and there's a gold bar that fell in there because the chicken ate it. Yeah, I don't know. So you have good feelings. We have our own perceptions. We are quite intuitive when we want to be. Just ask yourself to be intuitive. Ask yourself, why do I want that? What's my attraction to that, but not that? There's a reason, right? And the chances are it's in your subconscious, because you can't actually have a two-way conversation with your subconscious, but your subconscious is giving you hints, and it could be, you know, anything, a tingle in your fingertips, spidey senses. Okay, you get that when you look at something and think, oh, why? Why is that happening? Why is this weird feeling happening? Because your subconscious is flying around things, you know, because it can't knock on the other side of your brain and say, hey, get that, because there's something in there. So subconscious, conscious, subconscious awareness, etc., etc., etc. So embrace these ideas, look at them, right? Some of them you'll look at and go, that's just tosh, I'm not interested. Some of it you might decide on one element that's been spoken about and think, do you know what, you're right, I'm actually going to try that. I did read about it. I've never thought about implementing it, but I'm going to have a go. See what it does. What have I got to lose? Exactly. You've got nothing to lose at all. 10 minutes out of your day just to try an idea. It could be longer, depending on how big your idea is, but have a go. So I've been carljames from Resolve Coaching. We're based in Liverpool. And if there's any questions you've got, you can send it to us at resolvecoaching.co.uk. So that you can email me at carljames at resolve-coaching.co.uk. Now, we do somewhere have, if I can see it, if it wants to come to me, one of these. Okay, I'll just move myself out the way. So that's the website. I don't know about your screen. My screen's very light, difficult to see it. So carljames Resolve Coaching. Go onto that, send us an email if you want. It's also got other contact details on the website. Should you want to get in and have a chat. Now, what I will tell you is that I am offering a free 20-minute discovery session with anyone that wants any particular types of coaching. This will give you an insight to what is offered, and it also gives me a chance to talk to you to get some sort of rapport and see if we can work together. And this works on all the types of coaching and hypnosis as well. And then you can decide what you'd want to do. I will even offer you a free session, right? So there's nothing for you to lose. You've got loads to gain. Even if you take a pinch of information from your free session, it costs you nothing. You got it for free. You've had an idea on how a session works on whichever platform of therapy that you wish. And you can then decide whether you want to go forward or whether you just go, do you know what? I enjoyed the freebie. It was great. I don't want to spend me money on anything, so I'll carry on and see if I can find anyone else doing freebies. Well, why not? If it's out there for nothing, grasp it with both hands. Failing that, hopefully you will jump onto one of our paid sessions and get the full benefit out of that. So thanks a lot for being here and taking on board some of our little hints. And I hope to see you soon on the next YouTube show that I put up there. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much, and a good night or good morning or whatever it may be, wherever you are. Bye-bye.